The software itself, how does it work? Is it just the same as when you submit your essay to turn it in, and then do you access it from there, or is it...?
No, we access it through Moodle.
Okay.
So it is an entirely on Moodle system. It's exactly the same, it's no different to anything that we used to put on our feedback forms. The feedback forms haven't changed that much. So they're fairly generic across the university, so students know what they're looking at, really. The only difficulty we have at the moment is you can't put a grade into Moodle and transfer it back to Lucy. So what has to happen is we have to download a grading worksheet, which then goes to the tutors. The tutors have to mark the grade on that spreadsheet. They then send it back to me, I upload it to Lucy. So the mark is still on the interactive transcript and the feedback is still on Moodle. But the actual grading itself means a lot of administrative work, because you've got to create a feedback form to start with. Now, every course is different. Some have presentations, some have essays, some have group work. There's lots of different things that go into it. So each course can potentially have its own form of feedback form. So what we do is we send the generic feedback form out and say, are you happy to use this, or do you want to doctor it for your own purposes to give more feedback? Some courses have, some courses haven't. So we then have to create templates. So once we've created a template, then we can go into the system and we can use what's called advanced grading, which is where the system shows a grade button next to your submission, and the tutor can click on that and can just fill in the form down the right hand side. So it shows a PDF of the actual essay or group work, and they can just go through and put in comments like you can in Word or like you can in PDFs, and then write the feedback down the right hand side. As soon as they save that, that goes onto the student's record, and when you then log in, if you click on the submission button again on the Moodle page, it will then show your feedback. It does cut down the amount of paper, which then cuts down the amount of storage, because we don't have a lot of storage. And this is one of the reasons we started the pilot, was because the year before the pilot started, we had about 70% of work uncollected.
How much paper do you think you've saved from?
Oh, reams and reams. Massive amount of paper we've saved. Because we used to have to print out a submission form anyway for the students to submit the essays in the boxes. We then spent a lot of hours sorting all the essays out, and if we had multiple hand-ins, obviously in the second year box we could have 4 courses in at the same time, so they all had to be separated out. They all then had to be separated out into tutors, given back to the tutors. So sometimes if a hand-in was on a Friday, for example, a tutor wouldn't get until the Monday. So that means, you know, they've already wasted 2 or 3 days, whereas now they can go straight online and start marking from the time of submission. Generally, I would say 90% of the staff haven't had any problems with it at all. And we have quite a few members of staff who are very digitally minded anyway, so they kind of persuaded the other members of staff who wanted paper.
So if a department was thinking about starting it, how would you suggest to start going about it? Like trialling it? Or?
I would suggest talking to the Moodle team. And also talking to somebody like me who's done it already. I would say, Karen, do it!